Hey there, I'm Esther, and I have helped over 1,500 women work online around the world, and I've worked online myself for the last 7 years. And today we're going to be talking about almost 20 different ways that you can earn at least $200 or up to $200 per day. A lot of these will be more. Working from your laptop anywhere in the world, whether you need to be home with your kids, like mine's in the other room. We just finished homeschooling and I popped in to record this video. That's the kind of flexible lifestyle that people are leading around the world. What if you want to travel and go to different kinds of places or care for somebody who's ill, or maybe you have an illness and you need to be able to work from the comfort of your bed? Well, you are in the right place, because I'm going to go over so many different ways that you can do this for all different kinds of people. You don't have to be tech savvy, you don't have to have fancy equipment. There's something for everybody in here. Before I get into all of these amazing jobs that we're going to talk about, I want to make sure that you get your free ticket to my Work From Anywhere virtual summit. Guys, I can't even count how many free classes are in there. I think it's between 15 and 20 free classes in there, and it's featuring guest experts on most of the jobs that I'm going to tell you about today. They are doing it and have been very successful in doing it, working online in the jobs I'm going to talk about, and they actually give you tips and free resources on how you can get started too. So if you watch the rest of this, you're like, ooh, these 5 jobs, or these few over here, or ooh, those sound really cool to me. Well, then the obvious next step is to get the free ticket so that you can actually learn how to get started in those jobs, right? And so that's the next step I want you to take. I'm going to link the free ticket so you can grab it, but make sure you don't miss that, because we don't always run it, and it's a lot of amazing content. And besides just online jobs, it also talks about stuff that's like getting your resume up to snuff for remote work. It talks about bookkeeping and how to manage your finances, how to get your LinkedIn sorted for online jobs. Like, I tried to make it be the one-stop shop. So grab your free ticket to that. Grab your freaking ticket to that, and let's get started in almost 20 jobs that you can work from anywhere, making up to $200 per day. I'm gonna go through these kind of fast, but I'm gonna try and give you a little bit of description about each one, and then I'm just gonna move on to the next one so that you can maximize our time that we have together. So the first one is an editor and a proofreader. You might have done this in school, right? You're told to proofread and edit your work. Well, this is a huge profession online because of the amount of writing and content that's done online. All of it needs to be proofread, and like Microsoft Office with the red squiggly lines, or there's a really cool app called Grammarly that helps you, but none of that is the same as actually having a human being getting in there and reading and going through it and making the changes. So if you really are detail oriented and nitpicky, or always correcting people like, it's you are, not your, then that is a great role for you. Another one is social media manager. And this is great for people that really enjoy being on social platforms. So if you find yourself up late at night and you're just like a TikToker like I am, and you're just swiping, or if you're watching this YouTube and it's 2 a.m. and you probably should have gone to bed, but you've gotten down in the rabbit hole of the social media realm, or if you just like to be really active in Facebook groups and you're managing groups for free, you can get paid to do that. So those are the kinds of things a social media manager does. They post, they schedule posts, they write the captions, maybe they create some graphics, they track metrics. Great gig to work from home, and you can make great money doing it. Another one is a bookkeeper, and contrary to popular belief, I learned this from my bookkeeper, you do not have to be good at math to be a bookkeeper. You do not need a special degree, actually. A lot of people think you need to be a CPA or have like an associate's degree. It's not true. Anybody can be a bookkeeper. It's pretty crazy, and anybody can learn those skills to do it. And bookkeepers make great money because they're handling something that's very important to people: their money. Next one is a project or a business manager. So they're similar, but not exactly the same. When I hired my first project business manager, she worked for about 5 hours for me, and now she works full-time for me. And I started her off, I think she's been making between 35 and 40 US dollars per hour, and that's about the going rate. So some people, if you're like, I want to just work a little bit per week, you can find maybe some business owners that only need you a little bit, or for some of you that want to do this full time, you will find people that want and need somebody full time, and you make great money per hour because you're managing and running a lot of stuff. Next one, a translator. If you know 2 languages, you can get paid great money to either translate audio into like written form in another language, or just to translate like actual written word. So if you know 2 languages, great option for you. A web developer. Yes, this means you need to learn how to code, but coding and web development can be learned by anyone. Nobody was born knowing how to code. Everybody had to learn. Even I know how to code a little bit. So if I was able to do it, then there's no reason that you can't do it too. Another one is a graphic designer. And a lot of people think, this is another one, like, oh, I need to get a degree for that. And I need to like learn how to use all these fancy softwares. That is not true. You can do a lot of graphic design in free, easy to use software right now, and people just don't have the time, they don't have the right eye for it, they don't want to pay for like some of the extra features. Most people just don't have time and don't really know how to make something look good. So if you are into anything with like creativity, crafting, the arts, photography, like that's the kind of person that really does well with graphic design. A copywriter. So remember I talked about proofreading and editing because there's a lot of writing out there? Well, copywriters write a lot of stuff. They write blogs that you see all over the interwebs, articles for all the different websites. I'm not talking about like just Forbes and Entrepreneur. I'm talking about all the websites out there. All that content had to be written by somebody, and it's most likely not the CEO that's necessarily writing it. And you'll notice about the team page, they don't have like a team of writers. They hired a copywriter to write that stuff for them. And they probably have them on some kind of a retainer that they pay every single month. But there are virtual copywriting jobs in all different kinds of niches. You can get paid per article, you can get paid for a certain amount of content every single month, or you can just get paid part-time from somebody, or you can get paid full-time. Writing is all over the board, which is a great thing to be able to niche in and do because you can make great money doing it. Another one, video editing. Hi, people are using a lot of video today, y'all. Like, think about all the YouTubers out there, Instagram TV, we've got the TikToks. Like, there is so much video content. And yes, some video editing is pretty easy to do on your phone with some of the apps, but there's a lot of video editing that's higher advanced and is harder to do, and that people need a more skilled video editor to be able to do that. Oh, is there a degree in video editing? Maybe, but do you need one to be a video editor and know how to do that? No, anybody can be a video editor. You just need to know how to do it. Okay, next one, we're at 11. I've already gone over 11 different ways you can work from home. Have you found some that are interesting to you? Are you like starting to get excited? I'm trying to blow through this as fast as I can. Let's keep going. Okay. Virtual assistant. That's how I got started. I made $20 per hour. I worked 30 hours a week for somebody. I found the job on Craigslist and I loved it. Virtual assisting is the best way I think there is to get started working online because you get to do lots of different things for people. It's kind of like being the right-hand person for somebody's business or like their online secretary. So somebody who would have been an office manager / executive assistant / handles the email newsletters for the company / helps with bookkeeping. Like, you know that person in a company that maybe like wears a lot of hats and does a lot of things? Those people are going virtual now. And there's no reason you can't be virtual too. And they're not just hiring people for $2 per hour overseas like you may think. Virtual assistants make great money and they do great skills. And then after a year, you might find something that you really enjoy and you can, like graphic design or video editing like I talked about, and you can niche in that. So virtual assistant, my favorite thing. E-commerce store owner, like maybe you have an ebook that you're selling, or maybe you want to make journals that people, or like workbooks that people can print out and work on. Maybe you're going to make some graphics that you want to sell, like a graphic pack, quotes that you want to sell. I use Teachers Pay Teachers, and teachers make great money on there selling their curriculum. So there's lots of different ways that you can just make some money online selling digital products. It can be your own store, or maybe you're going to make those products for somebody else and they're going to buy them from you or pay you to make them, and you can make them for them too. Which leads me to the next one, which is also what I did, online course creator. So I have my program, 90 Day VA. I designed the content myself and I recorded it myself, but there was a team that helped me do the rest. And that's what I used to do for other clients. They would hire me to build out their online course site, make the slides for them, get scripts ready for them, put all the words onto the screen within the course site, organize it all, write the emails for the students. Like, it's a lot to build an online course. It takes a lot of work, and people who are at the level to hire some help with their stuff, they don't want to have to do all of that writing and setting up the site and recording and making the scripts. Like, they're going to hire out as much as they possibly can. And so that is something, if you're a former teacher, or maybe you have done instructional design or something like that, it's an awesome option. Another one is data scientist. This one was new for me. One of our team members' boyfriends does it, and he's in that virtual summit I talked about where you can get your free ticket to it below. And data science is basically, it's similar to coding, but it's more setting up the automations within. So like we might hire a data scientist to make a special dashboard for us that like pulls data from different websites, because it's like, let's say I want to know, okay, well, how many people are coming to my website from YouTube? How many people are coming from here and here and here? And then I want to be able to see it all in one nice graph. I don't want to have to go everywhere. That's the kind of stuff a data scientist would set up. They'd be able to set up like automatically pulling that data from different places and showing it to you in a easy to see way for a business or for a client or for whoever. And they get paid extremely well, and it's a skill that anybody can learn. Again, people weren't born knowing data science. They don't necessarily have a big fancy degree in it. Like, it's something that you can learn in an online class. And so Max is going to talk about that in the virtual summit. All of these jobs I've talked about, I think, except besides translation, all of this stuff we go over in the virtual summit. So that's really the next step for you if any of these have been interesting. If not, we got a few more. This one's super interesting to people. and it's being a travel influencer or a blogger, or just working in the travel niche so you can travel as much as you want or get paid to travel. And it really is true. People really do this. And we have in our virtual summit Christina Galbato, who has been doing this for many years. She's featured and she talks about more how to get into that. But it really is true. You really can get paid to travel. You can get paid to take pretty photos in pretty places and post them online. So that's another great way. Digital marketing, that's doing stuff like Facebook ads and Google ads and stuff that's not taught in a college degree, but people pay a lot of money because ads are tough to understand and people take the time to learn them, and you have to constantly monitoring them. So digital marketers make great money because they're making a business money. You see what I'm saying? A chatbot manager is another one. This is huge. So if you've seen like text messaging campaigns where people are like, hey, do you want a free coupon to this thing? Or if you've been messaged through Facebook about something, or you've asked about something and then they kept asking you automated questions. You might not have seen this before, but it's a real thing. That's how I run my free class about how to get started as a virtual assistant, is through a chatbot. And it basically is like setting up automatic replies to help somebody get to the thing that they need instead of having to have a live person always on there. And setting these up, understanding how it works, setting them up, maintaining them, making new ones. It's a constant thing that a business will need if they're utilizing a chatbot or a text bot strategy. And this is growing like crazy because text messaging is really considered to be the future. So that is a really, really great option. You can make great money doing that. Again, for one business or maybe several businesses would hire you, lots of options. And we have somebody in our virtual summit that talks about that too. She's the one who taught me how to do it. And then the last one that I'm going to talk about today, this is 18 that we've given you, is a podcast editor and manager. And this is somebody, like, guys, I have a podcast, Help Me Work Online, Esther. Great stuff on there if you haven't checked it out. But you know what I do? I prep and I record the episodes. That's what I do. And then my team, they help me do the rest. And why couldn't you do that for somebody too? Like, why couldn't you take the recording, add the intro to it, add the little sponsored clips, edit out any issues that are in the episode, type up the show notes for it, post it. Like, do you think that all podcast people are doing all that themselves? No, they have people that they've hired, and it's not these big fancy podcast companies. A lot of times it's someone just like you. And again, there's no podcast degree, so why couldn't you do this too? Okay. So I have just given you almost 20 jobs to help you get started. And now I want to give you some help on how to find those jobs and how to get going. I will give you that resource at the end. But right now, I really want to encourage you to grab your free ticket to that virtual summit linked below. Again, it's free and it has all these different experts talking about all the jobs that I just went over and how you can get started from real people working in the industry. And like I said, there's also bonus classes such as how to get your bookkeeping and your finances organized when you're working for yourself, if you happen to do a self-employment option, or even if you're not and you just want to stay organized. There's also stuff on how to get your remote resume and really optimize that process. So much amazing value in that free virtual summit. Go and grab your ticket. And if you haven't yet, would you please do me a favor and hit the subscribe button so we can be BFFs forever? And I also added some bonus episodes down here on how to actually find these kinds of jobs, companies that are actually hiring them, so that you can get started right away. Grab your ticket, and I can't wait to see you in our virtual summit.